All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's Malzberg panel time. It's Malzberg panel time. Joining us on said panel, Brad Hirschfield, author of You Don't Have to Be Wrong for Me to Be Right, and president of CLAL, and Adam Thompson. He's the senior partner at the law offices of Adam Thompson and syndicated talk show host. Gentlemen, so here's the deal. The San Bernardino terrorists had a phone, an Apple iPhone. The FBI has been trying to get into that phone, maybe to thwart the next attack or find out who they were dealing with. They can't they can't get the password. And if you do it 10 times and you don't have the right password, it erases everything on the whole phone. Okay? So they go to Apple and say, could you break into the phone for us? Apple says no. They go to court. Judge says, Apple, you will develop the software to get into this phone and you'll give it to the FBI. Apple says no. My take on this is that the judge should have said, you will develop the software, you will break into this phone, and then you will give the phone to the FBI. You could burn the software. But, Adam, it sounds like they want to the judge wants the FBI to then have the software, which then, if they were to abuse it, they could get into other iPhones.
Yeah, I think you actually said the right solution, because when I heard about this, that was my take on it. You have to have the FBI or any of our national security authorities out there able to access any type of phone or other kind of apparatus like this, because lives depend on it. But at the same time, we have individual freedoms and rights that have to be protected, and one of them is right against unlawful search and seizure. I don't want the FBI getting access to my personal phone records, and we all know that once they get their hands on an encryption program that could get access to what's on any iPhone, then even though they want it for this one case, and they're entitled to it in this one case, they'll probably end up using it in general searches for the general public, and that's what we don't want to happen.
Yeah, Brett,
so give it for this case, but then take it away.
Yeah, Brett, I don't understand why the judge, as I read it, as a wannabe lawyer, why the judge gave such a broad, mandate to Apple.
Well, let's be clear. First of all, I think, Adam, we actually do want people to have access under some circumstances. The judge here didn't make a decision on that, and to be clear, he wasn't even asking or demanding the FBI to break into the phone. The only thing, it's a very modest request that's made of Apple, and it's outrageous that they don't want to honor it.
Well, what's the request?
The request is simply to write software that will keep the phone from erasing the data after 10 attempts.
And then give it to the FBI.
The FBI has said that if they will, if it doesn't erase, they can solve the algorithm and will eventually break in. That's a very big difference. All they've said is they don't want their attempts to break in to end up erasing. Right,
but wait a minute. So then why doesn't Apple get to hold, have the right to hold their software property?
They don't care. They don't want to, because Tim Cook and
No. The order was give the software.
Apple's intellectual property. They have an absolute right to control the iPhone.
Adam,
what
we
it can
agree.
and
Let
can't
me
do.
answer Steve's
And
question.
they can't be forced to create a program. Who's going to pay for the time to create that program?
No, the government will. The government's going to pay for it. The government's paying for it.
I have to say, you're making the same mistake that Tim Cook is making. Slippery slope arguments make bad law and worse public policy. Let's not talk about the fear of what might happen. Let's do exactly what was asked for here and keep people safe.
Right, but Brad, what about the compromise? Brad, what about the compromise? What about the compromise of Apple? You get into the phone and then give it to the FBI. Why should the FBI have the software?
Steve, I think that's a really smart alternative. It seems right now Apple isn't even interested in doing that.
No, I don't know that for a fact. I think they might go there. All right, guys.
Brad, I think you're forgetting that all the other phones that they were able to get in, the Samsung, Verizon, and all the ones on Verizon, all them, they did look into all the different.
All right, guys, one at a time. Let's call the FBI, call the judge, call Apple, get them all in a room. I'll come in, I'll present my compromise, and that will be the end. Now, very quickly, let's listen to James Dobson here.
I'm Dr. James Dobson, speaking to you as a private citizen. My wife Shirley and I have joined thousands of conservative pastors and laymen in endorsing Senator Ted Cruz for president.
He's been making phone calls, robocalls to South Carolinians, urging them to vote for Cruz. Trump has, in the latest CNN poll, has a 20-point lead amongst evangelicals. 20 seconds each. Adam, is this going to make a difference?
None whatsoever. Trump in a landslide in South Carolina.
It didn't even take you 4 seconds. What about it, Brad?
I don't think that lead is going to erode significantly. I think it may sway a few people, but I think the premise is misguided, and I think that Dr. Dobson, with all due respect, is actually short-selling a life in ministry for a short-term gain that he won't even see.
Well, I don't agree with you on that. I mean, he has a right to endorse whoever he wants. I don't think he's short-selling anything. But
I didn't say he doesn't have a right to, Steve.
But we don't have time to debate it.
And the wisdom to do it.
All right, guys, appreciate it. Up next, Malzberg's Media Madness, a day early. Don't go away.